So I thought I'd do another video, like going through stuff on my shelf and whatnot. I know it's been a little while since I did the last one, so I'm just kind of going through what's already on my shelf. Red Corner, Richard Gere, Bylane. Um, really a big fan of Bylane. Um, this is a movie about Richard Gere's character. He goes to a different country and he ends up in legal trouble. And it's just really a rough watch because he gets taken through the legal system and through the ringer. And Bylane is there because, she's able to speak the language and translate and speak English and whatnot. So definitely one of my favorites. Let's see, what else? What else? Murder by Design. This was made, I think it was made in like 2007, 2006, sometime around that time. And here's the front of it. It says in the tradition of Shallow Grave, which I've actually never watched, so I can't really say if it's like it, but I've definitely heard of it before. But this is basically about a two friends, and they bring in a female counterpart, and they say, what if we could kind of make up a murder and see how far they can take it. And of course, there's a plot of trying to get money out of it, and a little bit similar to film noirs, uh, check your back. There's always going to be someone lurking in the shadows, a few feet ahead of you, a few steps behind. So it's pretty interesting. I don't feel like it's really well known as a movie. Let's see. The Annabelle trilogy. I waited for a long time to watch these movies and the Insidious movies because I felt like, I don't think I like them very much. But I finally sat down a couple years ago and watched the Annabelle movies, the Insidious movies, and I just really enjoyed them for what they were. Which is a lesson, don't judge a book by its cover or give a movie a chance and you might like it. Um, this is an old cartoon DVD. You got, let's see, Puff the Magic Dragon, Strawberry Shortcake, Thanksgiving in the Land of Oz. I don't know, like, I realize I'm not a kid, but I don't know. It's like comfort watching during the holidays or whatever. And of course, you have Peter and the Magic Egg, uh, Dorothy in the Land of Oz, Puff the Magic Dragon. So I'm just a fan of these old cartoons when I was a kid, 1,000 years ago. Yeah, let's see if I can put it back on the shelf. Another one, kids' favorite. You have Quick Draw, McGraw, Porky Pig, Space Ghost, Adam Ant, and you just have a lot of these sort of classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons that I'm a big fan of. So yeah. Let's see where the red fern grows. Yeah, I ended up getting the original movie, which is about a little kid and his relationship with his two hunting dogs, and they did do a remake like in early 2000s. I want to say like 2003. Dave Matthews, who is more known as a singer, he had a role in the 2003 remake, and he has like a drinking problem. Um, and then they did do a sequel to Where the Red Fern Grows, and it picks up years later about the main character, and again, he is faced with like his past with the hunting dogs, and he discovers more dogs. Um, And it was pretty good for a TV movie, I thought. It's kind of sad, but I won't go into more detail about that. I don't want to spoil the movie. The Beethoven movies, I'm a fan of those. The only movie I didn't like was it was like a Christmas movie from like several years ago, and it has Beethoven talking. And I was like, okay, this is it. This is the point where this series jumped the shark. And then I have the Benji movies, Benji the Hunted, um, For the Love of Benji, Benji Off the Leash, and it's a classic series about a really cute dog. Um, and they did do like a reboot several years ago. It was like a Netflix movie, but I haven't watched it. Benji the Hunted is a really good uh, series of these movies. He basically gets lost in the wilderness, and his famous trainer, I want to say it's Frank N. He had a really long career of working with animals in films, and he basically plays himself as Benji's trainer. And of course, he did use Orangey the cat in several movies, sci-fi movies, Breakfast at Tiffany's. And Orangey the cat had a really long career as far from back in that day. Let's see. Taboo Tales. These were like scandalous movies from back in the day. Mad Youth, The Marijuana Menace, The Wild and the Wicked, Test Tube Babies, Gambling with Souls, She Should Have Said No, Delinquent Daughters, Sex Madness, The Cocaine Fiends. And I mean, these were like PSA movies back in the day about, the dangers of teenagers drinking, driving, hooking up. Um, they were basically cheap exploitation movies, but I guess that's why I like them, because they're so vintage and just how teenagers behaved back in the days, like in the 50s and 60s. Very different compared to today. Excuse me. Getaway. This is with Ethan Hawke, Selena Gomez. It's kind of similar to the phone booth movie in that Ethan Hawke's character has to try to find a way to solve like these puzzles, these dares, basically to save his wife. And Selena Gomez is like this street kid. She pretty much jumps in his car and says, "You're going to give me this car, or I'm going to have to use a weapon on you." But she ends up like trying to help him and goes along this wild ride with Ethan Hawke's character. And it takes place during Christmas, so that's kind of cool too. And I wouldn't say it's a horror movie, it's more of like a thriller. But like just that plot line of solving puzzles, doing these dares, doing this and that. So it's kind of like a vibe from those other horror movies, but I liked it a lot. Actually, I feel like I should watch it again sometime. And of course, we have the Halloween collection. And maybe that's a video for another day. One Step Beyond, that's an old anthology, like horror and suspense series. It tends to get forgotten compared to like the British thriller TVs, the other British show, Thriller. And then, of course, you have like The Sixth Sense that did similar episodes of like horror and suspense. But yeah, I feel like it's underrated, One Step Beyond. And there are some like horror centric episodes, like the clown episode and whatnot. Stuff like that. Let's see. The Jurassic Collection. Creature, I think it's from like 1984 or 1985. It's like a space horror alien movie. Attack of the Giant Leeches. This is an older movie from the 50s. So they did kind of like a sequel reboot. They made it in like 2007, 2008. And it basically is like a different version of Attack of the Giant Leeches. The Giant Gila Monster, again, they kind of did a sequel to this. I think the original actor from this original movie showed up for like the 2002 2003 movie. Phantom from 10,000 Leagues, The Killer Shrews. I'm a big fan of the Killer Shrews movie. They did do like kind of like a reboot, um, but I haven't been able to find it. Voyage to the prehistoric planet Piranha, but it actually has nothing to do with the Roger Corman movie. It's an exploitation movie, and the piranhas are only like in one scene of the movie. It's more of like an exploitation movie. The main character is a young woman. She goes on like a journey to take pictures in the wildlife, in the jungle and whatnot, and she gets assaulted. So it's more of like a revenge movie. She and her brother um, are stuck in the jungle trying to get revenge for her being assaulted. So, excuse me, my voice is kind of rapsy. And let me think. And I just have a lot of these like old exploitation movies and monster movies and whatnot. Let's see. Let's see. American Horror Stories. Again, it has nothing to do with a TV show. But we have like Point of Terror, which is like this soapy horror movie of this older guy, like in his 40s. He's trying to get like a singing career, and he tries to like hook up with the right kind of people to make his career, make that jump into the mainstream. And Horror Express, and that is about a creature, basically a frozen creature, thaws out on a train, and it tends to like take over the passengers and whatnot. Don't answer the phone. This is like a classic exploitation slasher movie. He's like a Vietnam veteran, and he goes after various women in the sex trade and whatnot, and will call like the radio host of a show a female host. So he ends up like killing several girls while on the phone with her, and she tries to find like a way to find the killer. Bucket of Blood. This is another Corman movie, and it was remade and several years ago. But it's about like this beatnik. He gets popular in this beatnik group of people. He ends up doing like clay casts of like his cat who accidentally gets killed. So he ends up like covering it in clay and putting it forth as like an art project. And of course, he becomes like the talk of the town. Don't Look in the Basement. This is a classic exploitation movie. It's a British movie. It's about a kind of like this young nurse goes into like this home care situation, and all these different patients there have like different neuroses and mental health problems, and someone is knocking off the different workers and the patients um, in this care unit. Silent Night, Bloody Night, not to be confused with a similar title, but um, it has like this young woman like narrating the story, and that she grew up with like this hard knock life, and she basically finds herself drawn to this mansion, and that a series of murders had taken place, and it appears to be someone killing people during the Christmas season, going after pets and whatnot, and stuff like that. So it's pretty much like a cheapie from back in the day, but it's pretty decent for like a Christmas horror if you're looking to add something to your collection or just to watch it during the holiday season. Excuse me. Drive-In Massacre. Like I said, this is another exploitation movie. You have couples getting killed at the drive-in, where you could go to hook up with a date or a drink and just watch like these grindhouse movies. And unfortunately for them, they don't know that there's someone killing people for real. So while I've been talking for like 15 minutes, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. And I just felt like doing this because I'm not really feeling great at the moment. And my voice is getting kind of lower because of my allergies, but I still have like 4 other reviews to go. Definitely have more ideas um, for the videos and whatnot. So I just wanted to do this because I'm not like really looking so great. So I figured I'd just do kind of like an DVD shelf and see what's going on there. But I just wanted to say I really appreciate the people subscribing to me and just watching and the commentary and whatnot. So I guess this is sort of like a thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna do more reviews, depending on how good this one does, and maybe a few more of these. But I definitely definitely have ideas for other videos. So I'm not gonna take a break. So we'll see. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna wrap this up and have some tea for my throat, and that's it. Bye. Thanks for watching.